I'm Kate, that's Jamie, and this is Dumby News. So sit back, relax, and join us as we explore the highs and lows of the digital landscape.
Let's see what we can uncover as we search through the endless content online. Come scroll with us.
Hello, Dumby besties. Welcome back, or welcome here. I think to start this episode off, we need to have a heavy trigger warning for just about anything you can think of, quite honestly, through everything we're going to talk about.
Dun,
So
dun, dun.
if you're maybe sensitive or not in that kind of mood today, this may not be for you. Last episode, I believe, we said that at the top of this episode, we would talk about Wade Wilson, the TikTok skull face murderer guy. But I just want to make it clear that this guy is scum, and I really don't think that he needs any more attention based on our findings here. Wade Wilson, aka the Deadpool killer, brutally killed two women, Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz, in one night, after just days before brutally beating his ex-girlfriend. Clearly, bad guy. Bad, gross guy. To continue, I'll summarize the best I can here. He was sentenced to death in Florida. Good. He has face tattoos that make him look like a skeleton fully on one side and just kind of like a smile skeleton line on the other. He also has hate symbols on his cheek and another really large hate symbol on the side of his skull, which he keeps shaved so everybody can see it.
I have to interrupt because did I send you the TikTok where his lawyer notices his tattoo for the first time and the look of disgust?
I don't blame him. He's scary. I watched some of the sentencing and he's just like dead behind the eyes. But I bring this up because there are women online thirsting over him, just blatantly out in the open on social media and everything while this trial was like actively going on, which is kind of what made him famous, not just his absolutely psychotic tendencies.
Well, and you said the police kind of botched it a little bit there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Or,
So
dropped the ball, I guess, with his
yes.
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, we'll get there real quick. But that was the whole reason I ended up looking into this, is because of all of the creepy women on TikTok, like posting thirst traps about him and like making videos to music with his I'm telling you. But so then I started looking into this more. And so now his ex-girlfriend is speaking out, and she was saying that that night that she had gotten assaulted, it was horrible. I saw the pictures, and he also essayed her. It was really horrible. I'm not going to go through everything that happened or what he had done to those two other women. It's gruesome. I mean, Jamie and I are no strangers to true crime. This is gross. This was really bad. I digress. She said that the cops told her, no, this is hearsay. We don't have any probable cause. The detective also said there are no witnesses to the alleged crime and no evidence to establish probable cause.
Oh my God.
So
hate that.
So she's saying, she's like, if they would have just taken me seriously, and I'm telling you, you could tell that bad things happened to her. She was black and blue all over. If they would have just listened to her to begin with, it's very possible that this could have all been averted.
Right, because like these bruises aren't hearsay.
No, I don't even know. That is not what hearsay is. If it's a first-hand account, she's the victim. So that's a first-hand account. That is the opposite of hearsay. That is not
Right.
what hearsay
Hearsay
is.
is, oh, my friend told me this happened to her.
But this is why men don't act right. The bar is so low, it's in hell. Like, that's what he deserves is the death penalty. So, good. That's that on that. I'm not going to give him any more of our attention. I will give his ex-girlfriend some more attention, though. I am going to follow up on that. I'm very curious to see. I hope that she can sue something. I hope she can do something.
Right.
Maybe,
Sue the police department for pain and suffering.
again, I saw the pictures. Like, he bit her on her face. This man, um, if you guys want to
Oh,
hear more about that, like if you're interested in true crime, we're not necessarily a true crime podcast here. I don't want to do it disjustice. I don't want to be insensitive in any way, but it's really it's horrible what the other two women and his ex-girlfriend had to go through.
I've been perusing recent, or well, at least recent as of 2024 amusement park incidents, and I picked three because a lot of them were like little stuff, like a tram turned and ran over the curb and it knocked some people out of it, I think, at Universal Studios. Um, I'm focusing on the injuries because as someone that loves amusement parks, but also as like a mom now, I'm like horrified. But we're gonna start off with one that occurred in Spain actually on February 11th. High winds caused a tree to fall on the children's ride, the Tomahawk, at Portaventura World, injuring 14 guests. Two of the injured were said to be in critical condition, and they were airlifted to Belvedere Hospital in Barcelona. And Joanne, that it's the 13th, Joanne the 13th Hospital in Tarragona. Three
14
others.
people?
Yeah, 14 people, and
That's
it
a
was a
lot.
kids ride, so because they were children, they like didn't release any of the ages or injuries. They just said children were among those injured.
Right.
Um Aside from the ones that the two that went to the hospital in critical condition, three others were taken to hospital with non-life threatening injuries. But really aside from like wind knocking the tree over onto the ride, not much was said about really how it happened.
Oh.
Should somebody have been inspecting this tree? Was it windy enough that they should have called it? Because I know at a lot of amusement parks, if it's too windy, they'll shut some of the rides down temporarily.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in different countries though. They might not care.
Nextly, theme park incident left passengers hanging, literally upside down, on June 14th. 28 passengers at Oak Amusement Park in Oregon, anyway, ended up trapped hanging there for approximately 30 minutes when the pendulum ride called the Atmosphere, so like Atmos, FEAR,
Mm-hmm.
because it's scary. Um, it became stuck at its peak and then did not come back down. As soon as the ride got stuck, a ride operator called 911 and the remaining guests were evacuated from the park. It took responders 25 minutes to arrive on scene, so really it only took them 5 minutes to get the ride to come down. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they should have came a little faster.
I got stuck on a carnival ride. Like, I don't know how to describe it. You know the one that has like the octopus arms and then it has the little spinny things at the end and it kind of goes up and down?
Mm-hmm.
I got stuck in one of those, like, and it was tilted and we were up and like backwards and we were stuck for well over an hour. And there was no emergency rescue teams either. Uh, we weren't,
Well, on a side note, I Googled how long one can safely hang upside down, and because it varies so much person to person, there is no specified amount of time that you can safely be upside down. Because, I mean, if they said eventually all the blood rushes to your head, which could cause a brain hemorrhage.
yeah.
A lot of the times people suffocate because when you're upside down, like all of your intestines and your organs and stuff are crushing your lungs.
Oh, I didn't never thought of that, really. That makes sense.
So, so really it just depends, I guess, on your body's own resilience.
That's
Um
unfortunate.
20 27 of the 28 passengers were assessed on scene and released. Only one passenger who had pre-existing conditions was sent to the hospital, so it didn't elaborate on what the pre-existing conditions were. So they evacuated the rest of the amusement park while they were waiting on emergency people to come get this ride down, and the park offered a refund for their ticket or a ticket exchange. And in some of the comments on, I think their Facebook post, they were like, ticket exchange, I'm never riding any of those rides again
I mean, they're
after
bound to
seeing that.
break down. Like,
True.
I don't get on rides though, not anymore.
And I guess, for given the amount of people that like go to amusement parks and ride these rides, it's not a super whole lot of people that get really badly hurt, I guess.
Are these all from like this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The first one was February 11th. That one was June 14th. This last one occurred on June 23rd. And I'm sure this one happened. I'm so sure that everyone's probably heard about this already. It was the man, he was hit by the Banshee roller coaster at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. Um, if you don't know what that is, it is a 4,124-foot long inverted roller coaster with a top speed of 68 miles per hour. So when it hit this guy, it was probably.
Didn't his head get like kicked off or is that somebody else? Was pretty funny.
No, no, he didn't die immediately. Okay.
Sorry.
Reports say the man was trying to retrieve his keys after employees had told him that he would have to wait until the park closed and then an employee could find his keys because he thought that he had dropped them off of that ride somewhere. So he jumped two security fences into the restricted area, and he was then struck by the roller coaster, sustaining severe injuries, and was airlifted to University of Cincinnati Medical Center, and then he died on June 28th, a few days later.
Yeah, when they have those signs up, like high voltage or I don't know, speeding roller coaster, I
I
do
just,
think we should
yes,
follow that. I do feel very bad this man died. Do not get me wrong, that is awful. But for your
it's so
car
sad.
keys, yeah, to risk your life that way for your car keys, because you don't want to be inconvenienced. I think we should all sometimes maybe take a step
Right,
back
you
and
could have just, I don't know, extended your day at the park. Maybe it would have been a little longer than you wanted.
something.
I don't know. You don't jump over two fences and go into the under part of the roller coaster area.
No, it's not a good idea.
That never ends well.
No.
And I did just want to touch on a few more. These did not happen in 2024. They happened in 2023.
Oh, okay.
And I did just a little brief summary on each of them. I'm not going to go into detail, but just so you guys can know how many have happened just since 2023 and now. In March 2023, a woman at Six Flags in Arlington, Texas fell off a roller coaster and died. In June 2023, one person died after a roller coaster derailed at Gröna Lund amusement park in Sweden. In August 2023, a 6-year-old child fell from a roller coaster at Fun Spot America in Florida. He lived, but still, he was gravely injured and had to go to the hospital. In August, again in August of 2023, one teen died and another was left in critical condition after wind gusts caused a ride to malfunction in France. And from what I read, it was like one of those like slingshot type rides that it
Oh,
like
that's so
pulls you
scary.
back.
No. No, 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 no.
Yeah. Just and so it's not even just like I'm hating on our amusement parks here. I'm hating on them all because it's happening at all of them. They're all dangerous, terrifying.
It is terrifying. I can't get down with that. But also, I can't ride any rides anyway because I get vertigo so bad. So I don't know. I just can't relate. Well, that's wild. That's quite a bit of accidents.
So many, in my opinion. My
Well,
anxiety could never, I would like at this point in my life, I'd get to the top of the roller coaster and just start crying, probably.
they scare me too
Mm.
bad. I don't mind the ships that do the back and forth. I guess that's fine. That's not too scary or anything. But those get stuck a lot, and I've seen them stuck myself.
Yeah,
So,
well, at least those don't go upside down.
no. No.
But I did watch, my stepdad and my little brother rode that one time, and somebody like barfed on the backswing and it like hit the people in front
Oh
of
my gosh.
them. Run your risk getting on any ride. All
Well,
right, what do you got for us?
while we're talking about accidents, let's talk about all the firework accidents that happened this July 4th. So, on a day that should be of celebrating freedom, unfortunately, it turned tragic for many individuals across the country. From Illinois to Utah, firework mishaps claimed lives and injured dozens. People died, people blew their hands up, people just got randomly hit and were kind of okay. Some people burnt their whole freaking houses down. It seemed crazy, and I do not know if it's because I was looking for this stuff or that there's a lot of just social media now in general for you to see so many things. Illinois saw a tragedy with a 34-year-old man dying after handling fireworks on Chicago's northwest side, and a 25-year-old man losing his life in a fireworks mishap in LaSalle. I even saw somebody take a lit firework, like light it while they were driving and throw it into somebody's convertible and it blew up in their car.
Oh my god,
I'm telling
why?
you. I'm telling you, there was so many people were going
And
nuts.
I didn't even know about the two people that you just said that died. I only knew about the one dude.
Yeah, there was a guy who died in Michigan too. Alex, my husband, he sent it to me because I told him I'm like, if you see anything interesting about fireworks, send it to me. And he sent me one. I want to say it was in Canton. The one most people are seeing is a man in South Carolina. A 41-year-old man lost his life after placing a large firework on his head, resulting in a fatal explosion. South Carolina father, decked out in Stars and Stripes outfit and a top hat, was instantly killed on Thursday when he placed a lit firework on top of his head moments before it exploded, officials and family reportedly said. And there's a video of him dancing around, vibing, having a great time. They said he started drinking at 6, but it's not like it was 6 AM, it was 6 PM.
Did they say, like, what kind of fire did you find anything that said what kind of firework
It
it
was a
was?
mortar,
'Cause okay. I
which
mean,
is
I figured as
why
much, but it just
yeah.
said what I read just said a large
And in the
firework.
police report, it said, like, his wife was like, "I don't know why he did it. He must have been, like, showing off or something like that." And I'm like, "Oof, that's that is a bummer." It was at
Why
a
did no
block
one
party.
stop this man?
Well, and yeah, because 'cause they're at a block party, so how many people are there? I think that, the other adults maybe would be like, "Oh, this maybe is going too far." I
Right.
know I know it
You
is kind
shouldn't
of
do that, man.
yeah, I know
Seems
it's a
like a
social
bad idea.
phenomena to, like, what is it called? Like, bystander syndrome or whatever, like, you just don't help or don't do anything because nobody else is doing anything, but still, I feel really bad. I mean, this happened in front of his kids. It's on the news everywhere, so people are talking
Yeah.
about it, and then they have that video. I wanna know how that video got out. I feel bad because like, they got this video of him all jazzed up with his big stars and stripes, like, top hat and stuff, dancing around with a cigarette in his mouth, like,
Yeah, I saw the clip.
but and then in Utah, there was, a stadium mishap. Stadium fireworks veered into the stands at a crowded Utah football stadium and struck members of the audience and performance during a 4th of July celebration, sending up to 6 people to the hospital, according to the authorities. One of the people injured was a 17-year-old girl who was dancing on the field.
So even the professionals are like slipping.
Yeah. And once I saw that, then I really started digging into other stuff. And then there was somewhere else where all of the fireworks went off at once. Like they messed up and they all went off at once. So now I'm looking into like, what do you even need to have to be, a fireworks or a pyrotechnic person? And you do have to get an operator's certificate and you're supposed to do schooling and you have to pass a test, but I don't know. It does still beg the question. And again, there were quite a few houses that completely burnt down there. I want to say in Illinois, someone put on this big, massive illegal fireworks show, and you can see as people are driving by all the mortars, all of the fireworks, all the remnants in the burnt down house. And you can see all of
Mm,
it.
that sucks. Learn the lesson though. Stop being careless with your fireworks.
Be careful. You can't do everything. Just because you think you can't, Nemo, okay?
Well, I do have to be like devil's advocate because accidents do happen even when you're careful because we were at at a lake like probably 3 or so years ago now, I would say, maybe more than that. Um, and we were lighting off mortars, and I don't know, my uncle decided to let his little Parkinson's friend light off a mortar, which, why? And anyway, he ended up knocking over the mortar tube, and it shot out across the lake, and just like super lucky there were like no boats or kayaks or anything in the vicinity because it like skipped like a rock across the water and then blew up right on top of the water like a pretty little fountain. It was actually super cool, but
Nope, I don't think that negates my point here. Sorry, Jamie. Disagree. Gotta disagree with that. Actually, that's how that guy in Clayton Township or whatever died is because a mortar tube fell over and then he fell over and it shot right into his face. So
well, you know what? We learned our lesson and now we have all of our mortar tubes secured to this like big board and there's like a whole setup to ensure nothing falls.
see, love to hear that. That's what we want to hear. But yeah, I wish people would be more careful. Fireworks are fun. Fireworks are pretty. I get it. I do. But I truly like it's so scary. So at the end here, Jamie and I wanted to talk about Aubrey Wyatt and her mom, Heather. I think a lot of people have seen this now, as many people are posting, whether it's on TikTok or even Facebook, for Heather, Aubrey's mother, because she received a court order that she is not able to post until July 18th. Now, Heather Wyatt is Aubrey Wyatt's mother, like I had said. Aubrey committed suicide. Sorry, trigger warning. I should have done that before. About a year ago, due to bullying. And her mom has been a really huge advocate for mental health awareness and everything else. So she posts many things on social media for awareness, for suicide, for her daughter, for mental health. She has a foundation, she donates money. She truly cares, and she's trying to use her daughter's name in a good way. The judge's decision to silence Heather on social media sparked outrage and led to a surge of support and donations for her legal expenses. Social media users are demanding justice for Aubrey and standing up for the Wyatt family. The story has spread across platforms like TikTok and Facebook, with creators and commenters speaking out in solidarity. Heather was very vocal and transparent, and I'm sure the parents of the bullies did not like that, which is kind of what everybody is speculating as to why they are suing her, which is why she was mandated to stop posting for the time being until they have a hearing. So, because she can't post, people are posting for her. The parents of the girls who were accused of bullying Aubrey are the ones who are suing. Now, to be clear, Heather never doxed them and she never named them. I do believe, though, that outside sources brought their identities to the internet, but that's not Heather's fault, in my opinion, and most people's opinions from what I can see. But we just wanted to talk about that and talk about the Justice for Aubrey hashtag that continues to be circulating. I'm sure we'll hear more about this, as it's clearly upset a lot of people.
Yeah, we should do an update when there's an update.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said July 18th is when they're
Because
having.
I'm interested to see how this goes. On, obviously I really hope Heather wins the case cuz I think it's asinine.
She hasn't even responded to the case yet because it was just put on, I believe. Sorry guys, not a lawyer. Um but yeah, we shall. And like I said, I think a lot of people are really invested in this as well. People were invested beforehand. I mean, Heather really did an awesome job advocating and getting her daughter's name out there and truly doing what she could to help others who were in her daughter's situation. I don't have it in front of me or anything. I only watched a couple of videos. Just the things that are listed in this lawsuit and the things that they're saying that Heather has done or said or being defamatory, and it's a little aggressive in the wording. I think it's unfair and really crappy because, like, where was that when your daughters were bullying this girl, for they said
Right.
years, like, and physically bullying her as well as emotionally and everything else. basically torturing her. It's horrible.
Then the audacity to sue this mother who has lost her child because of the treatment that she suffered at the hands of your children is despicable.
It is.
Despicable.
You would think that they would have more sympathy, or quite honestly, lay low and be quiet. I think that would have been their best case. Not that I would say that that's the morally correct thing to do. What they really should do is freaking apologize or something, or flip the script and, help that organization that Heather has.
Right.
Go to therapy, do some work on yourself. They're kids, and kids are easily persuaded. You never know. There could have been one ringleader, and it's real easy when you're a kid to get roped into stuff. We've seen it time and time again in other things. It's disappointing to see, just do better, people. We can't all be saints.
Teach your kids better. Teach your
Yeah.
kids to be good people when you're not around.
Yeah. I think it's worth it to talk about this. I know it's sad to talk about, but this episode was kind of a little dark. That's why we had a trigger warning at the beginning. But
right.
We had a lot to say.
Gloom, doom, and despair this time. We'll find something cheerier next week, maybe.
I mean, we can't control what's happening in the world, quite honestly. Sometimes we can't find damn near nothing. And then other weeks, like this week, there were so many things I wanted to talk about, and it was hard to pick. But we tried to pick what we thought was important or needed some talking about. So we just do our best. If you guys ever have any suggestions, we're super open to suggestion.
Yeah, let us know what the people want to hear.
We're into it.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Like, comment, subscribe, interact with us. Let us know if you're liking the show. And if you're not liking the show, keep it to yourself.
Or maybe some constructive criticism, really, really nicely.
Right. And don't hurt my feelings.
All right, all. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.